Hey, buddy. How's it going? My name is Travis. This is the introduction to my video log. I've been posting a lot of stuff online on social media, a lot of images, resharing memes, stuff like that. I got into doing short dad joke videos a couple of years ago, stuff that's just like 15 seconds long, maybe once in a while, something that's like a minute or two. This year, I want to get into longer form stuff. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a video log or a podcast. I was going to do a mix of both. Now I'm going to do each independently. And for this video log, my goal is to just post a couple of times a week, every day or nearly every day. I'm going to make it a goal to talk in front of the camera for a couple of minutes and just post whatever I say without any editing. That's going to be the challenge for me because I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. When I was doing dad jokes, sometimes it would take me a couple of hours to make something I liked that was 15 seconds long. So one of my main goals as I progress is to get rid of that perfectionism and just let it out there. So with that, we'll get into some of the segments that I've recorded. And there we go. Got a little dark there for a second. I've had my Mach-E for about a year now, and I've gotten away without having to upgrade any electrical service at my house. Level 1 charging is what you do with your traditional, like, 3-pronged 110 volt outlet. That will buy you about 3 to 4 miles per hour of charging. If you drive less than 30 miles a day, that's fine. You're never going to have a problem until you go long distances. For me, for the first year, I've been lucky. About a 10-minute walk from my house, Kakana has some public chargers where they even offer free electricity. So whenever I needed to charge up faster or replenish after a longer drive, I would just park down there overnight and I would be full in the morning. 1 year on, when I look at the prospect of going on long drives multiple days in a row, I want to get level 2 service at my house. And basically that means the equivalent of like what your dryer or electric range has out to the garage where my car is. And I don't have that today. I got a hold of the local group that I get my electrical and plumbing through, Blackhawk, and had them out here for an estimate. They said it could be up to $4,000 to get a new box in the house, new service to the box, and a wire all the way through my basement out into the garage. Or not even into the garage, actually, just an outlet on the external part of my house. I've got some complicated stuff going on, like tunneling it through the yard would be awkward right there. There's some blacktop and some concrete. There's buried fiber optic cable, natural gas lines, and all that sort of stuff. So the $4,000 plan still leaves me with an external outlet that I would have an extension cord into my garage or my driveway that I could plug in and do level 2 charging. That's a bit more than I want to spend. An option that would cost half as much would be to replace my electric range with a gas range and then use that 40 amp service. It's on the corner of the house. It's on the corner of the house closest to the garage. So then they would take that electrical service and put an outlet on the outside of the house, and I would have a gas range. And that would still be potentially up to $2,000, including the cost of a gas range, which I've looked at some gas ranges. They're pretty cool. I'd love to upgrade. They look nice. They got a lot of nice features these days, like built-in convection ovens, air fryers, griddles, all that fancy stuff. But I'm kind of cheap. I don't want to see if I can do something cheaper. So I got a couple more options I'm going to pursue. I'm going to call the local electric company and see if it would be possible for me to get separate service directly into my garage. And then the electrical work to land that service in a box and rewire the outlets would be relatively cheap. Or the cheapest option I'm looking at would be to essentially have them make me an extension cord that could carry the 40 amp service from my electrical range into the garage so I could set it up when I wanted to charge at home. There we go. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, January 8th. The big event for the day was taking Rocky to High Cliff Veterinarian.
It was his annual checkup. He needed his rabies shot. And he's also got like this boil looking thing on his butt that has been looking uncomfortable for a while. Once in a while, he gets the scoots and it gets a little bloody. They took a look at it and they got to send a sample off to get tested to see what's going on. But other than that, Rocky is a very healthy boy. He is a very good boy. His lungs and his heart are good. He doesn't look his age at all. He's a very awesome dog. So hopefully things come back well with that. The other fun stuff for the day was I got to see all of the kids today, which is always nice. Wednesdays are my evening with Javis, so he came over here after school, helped me with the dishes today. Always a big help. It's nice to have people to share chores with around the house. Lelaina stopped by after work. Her snake, Orochimaru, is here and needed to be fed. So she came, thought him a big old mouse, and fed him. And we spent some time working on paperwork for financial aid. She has type 1 diabetes and she has her insulin, which is a couple $100 a month. She's got some other anti nausea pills and things going on. And she's been on glucose monitoring sensors for a while that aren't covered by my insurance. With a coupon through GoodRx, I think she's paying like $250 a month for a Dexcom G7 at Walgreens, and we're trying to get her on a Omnipod insulin pump, so she just has insulin pumped into her instead of having to take it herself all the time, and that isn't paid for by insurance. And with a coupon from GoodRx, costs like $500 a month. So that's $800 a month just for those two things. And we're trying to get financial aid from those companies to help pay for some of the cost because they certainly make a huge difference. When she got on an insulin sensor, her A1C went down. She was in range much more often. If you have diabetes and you're on the fence about them, absolutely they're 100% worth it. Definitely recommend it. So she came over for that stuff, and then Raceland came over as well. He's home on winter break from college, and he had been at my parents' house for a couple of days. He stopped here when he got back in town. I got him some tacos for dinner, and he sat down and watched some Deadpool and Wolverine with me, which I really appreciated because I've been wanting to watch it for a while, but I typically don't watch a lot of TV or movies by myself. I have ADHD, and I very much like interactive things or productive things. So a lot of the times I don't know what it is, but it's just easier for me to sit down and geek out creating something or learning something on my computer than it is to sit there and watch a TV unless I've got someone with me. If there's someone with me, I think the concept is mirroring, it's called, where if you've got someone with you displaying a behavior, it's much easier for you. So if I've got someone like he was today, he was my person to get me to want to sit down and watch the movie, that was great. Uh, he had seen it before though, so I could tell about halfway through he was getting a little antsy. And I asked him, I'm like, Raceland, you don't have to stay if you don't want to. You can go. And he admitted he wanted to go. Um, but before he left, I know he's been a little bit bored on college break. A lot of his friends have jobs and stuff like that. I suggested a book to him that he took, and I thought it was really cool. It's a book I just bought. Um, and it is, here, I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember it right now. But anyway, it's a book I was interested in, so I bought it even though I'm not ready to read it yet, because it was the kind of book that I want to take my time reading, maybe read more than once, and also really like to have books, certain nonfiction books, especially around the house like that, hoping my kids would see it and be interested in reading it someday. And that title was interesting to them, and I kind of figured it would be, so I was really glad that it made a connection there, and that it was worthwhile buying the book so he could read it, even though I'm not going to be reading it anytime soon. That's something kind of something I picked up from my dad. He had a copy of Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People on the bookshelf when I was a kid, and when I was struggling to make friends after just moving for a second time. It's something I had picked up just because he had it lying around, and it made a difference in my life. So it's something I think I've always tried to do, and I will sell some books, but some books, if they're really good and I want my kids to read them, I will absolutely buy them, keep them around the house, and hope that one day it catches their eye and they can borrow it from me. So that was kind of my dad win for the day with Raceland. So all in all, it was a really good day. No complaints, Rocky.
If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Check out the links in my channel. You can see that it posted all over the place. If you got questions for me, let me know. I am doing this to get over my perfectionism, but I also want to provide value to people. And yeah, I guess I'm open to questions, feedback, anything you have to share. Thanks again. See you soon.